Hi, I'm Kyle Green with the Greenway Outdoors, and today I'm going to talk to you about the Tracker Targa V19. Reason why I'm making this video is because when I was buying this boat and looking into buying this boat, I must have watched 20 YouTube videos that were all terrible because I wanted to know every detail about the boat, but they were either out of focus, too close, too far away, or didn't have the information I cared about. This is a huge purchase. It's like buying a house or a car, and it's something you're probably gonna keep for a long, long time. So let me show you why this should be the boat for you. We'll start with the trailer because we're outside of the water still. It's powder coated with Gelda Shield, which basically is like a fancy way of saying it's powder coated, it's black, it's gritty, and it keeps from chipping, it keeps from rusting, and kind of protects it so it doesn't look janky over time. You've got a full-size spare tire right here. The trailer is a custom fit tandem axle, and it's got an inside the frame brake line system with 1-point bleed and hydraulic drum brakes in both axles. Coming around to the back, you've got some tie downs here. This one didn't come with it. This is a little bit more of a heavy duty one that I got myself. To be honest with you, the first day, the one that came with it broke. So they're just kind of cheaper straps that come with it. So I'd get yourself some more heavy duty ones. And I mean, it's holding your boat on, you want to protect it. The plug is a little bit lower than you might have expected. It's easy right now because you see me doing it, so obviously you know where it goes, but there's a lot of holes back here and people make mistakes, especially with this one here, so make sure you go lower. It's the one down there. All right, on the trailer here, there is like a step ladder with a big step on it, and this is the top step, and then a big pole that helps you get in and out of the boat. I took it off, which is very easy to do. There's bolts to do it. I took it off because honestly, I don't need it. I'm young and easy to hop in quick. But in addition to that, the pole was the tallest point of the boat, even taller than the window, and I couldn't fit it in my garage. So when you're pulling in, like, check for that. All right, let's launch it. With this boat, it gets out of the hole pretty quick. I've got the 150 horse on it. Some people go bigger. I mean, you can do the 200, 225, but with the 150 on it and with like 2 or 3 people, I've gotten up to 45, no problem, so. Yeah, she gets on plane quick too. About 2 seconds flat and I'm on plane. Sweet. Smooth too. Deep V, super deep V, makes everything just icy smooth. Another cool addition, this grip right here, you can put your phone in there. I've been going 40 with that thing and it hasn't popped out yet, so you actually can trust it. It's like a trust build thing, but it does work really, really well. You've got your master power, your bilge, your forward live well, your back live well, and then the pump out features, a horn if you need it. And then the cool thing right here is the lighted live wells, so they light up at night. And then the nav system right there is for your front and back lights when you've got those plugged in. But it's all off to the side, you can see good. Another thing is they've got a bracket right here with the cord, so if you wanted to install another big fish finder like that, if you're like a tournament bass fisherman or something, you can do that too. All right, now that I've shown you all the gauges and how to drive it, let me show you the storage in the front. All right, first things first, in the front, you've got this movable front windshield. So it can both lock down. They call it a walk-through. Front seat here for fishing. Now it folds up like this. Now if I sit in it and it's locked in place and I want to spin it, I can make it so I can spin around, lock it back down. That way when you're driving, it's not doing one of those deals. And on top of that, it's hydraulic. And you can move it to any of the other post spots in the boat. You just press this button, pick it up, move it out, get it out of the way. Now, these pads up here are on the fish and ski model, which is the one that we have, and that's because we like to take people out on the boat to hang out. You can ride up here, talk about comfortable, and these are removable too, so it's just as simple as snapping them down and snapping them back out. So if you're fishing and you want these mats in the way, you can take them out. Going through the storage here, this cupboard here is where I keep this is my planter boards. And then I have 4 life vests in here. So literally it's big enough to fit 4 life vests and the planter boards. And a lot of people use it for storage of towels and things like that. But I obviously use mine mostly for fishing. And then the one up here, just in front of it, open that one up. This is where I keep my anchor. So nice anchor bag, anchor in there, works well for that. I think that's pretty much what everyone uses it for. I think that's pretty much the anchor designated one. Up here is where our trolling motor is. So the cables and the setup for that, and I'll show you how that works in just 1 second. And last but not least, our other live well. So we have another live well right here as well. A couple secret compartments not too many people realize is right here and right here. Honestly, you can't keep much in them. Do not keep anything in these when you're driving down the road or if you plan on going really fast, because they do tend to open and close while driving. I want to get some stronger magnets to put on there, but it works the same, just don't count on it on the expressway. So back to the trolling motor. This is a system, foot pedal is going to come standard with it. It's a 70-pound torque trolling motor, which is pretty strong. To plug it in, you just got this right here. So it just plugs in nicely in there. And then you can do up or down for your motor from back here too. So if you're coasting into some shallow water or something and you want to lift out your main motor, you can do that there. And then to plug this in, it's a little finicky. Something I don't love, but it does work pretty good, is how to put the trolling motor on. You got to be really careful. You've got this little attachment here. This is the female end and then the male end, and you got to put it in. You got to make sure all those prongs line up perfectly. If they don't, you could break it and it won't work. So you do that, screw it down, it's good to go. There's a tester on the top to check your trolling motor and how it's doing. But other than that, it's just a standard trolling motor, 70 pounds of torque. Foot pedal, pretty easy to use, I like it. And it does have a continuous setting, so if you want to be going in a constant direction, you can set that up too. And while we're talking about plugs, to charge the boat, you don't need a trickle charger anymore. I have 3 batteries hooked up to this boat, and it's just a standard 115 volt outlet that you plug it into in the wall. And honestly, it holds a charge really well. I'll charge it full, and then I've gone out and used the trolling motor on the Detroit River for like 8 hours, 2 days in a row, and on the 3rd day it was still completely fine. So I haven't run it out yet, but I'm not gonna keep risking it. I'll plug it in every night. All right, walking back through, this is the main rod locker. Now right now I've got 4 rods in there with line counting reels, all rigged up with Cabela's Rapala type lures. Keep in mind, I got 4 in there and there's still plenty of room for at least another 4. So a lot of room in that rod storage, super nice. There's a little compartment underneath there too that I keep my line in. So like if I need to re-spool it, I keep it in that little tiny compartment there that's up underneath the lures. And that just locks like that. Then right here, this storage, this is where we keep our ski rope. And then there's more storage underneath there where we keep a bunch of life jackets, and that's also where the batteries are at too. Keep in mind when you're putting stuff in there that you don't want to be like rattling the batteries around. You know what I mean? So I keep it in there, but I make sure that the jackets stay well away from the battery ports in there. Kind of nice. It's dry storage too, it doesn't get wet. Underneath here, little compartment there, I keep my lines in there. Right now we're in the water, so the lines that are on the side of the boat where we dock are already in there. And then there's an identical one on that side. That one's just where I keep all my fire extinguishers, my lighting kits, and then also all the paperwork for the boat itself. And then waterproof compartment here, cell phones, all kinds, really big, and it does lock. So if you're going into a gas station or something like that, you want to keep all your stuff safe, because I keep my wallet in there. That's nice too. And now locker storage in both gunnels on both sides. It's got 3 rod holders, but you could put 2 in depending on the size of the rod for each, but minimum 3 works pretty good. It also locks, like I said, if you're in the gas station or something like that, it works well. And as you see behind me here, I haven't really mentioned it yet, but I have a 9.9 kicker motor. It's optional, so that doesn't come standard with the package. But when you get that added on, it actually runs off the exact same fuel tank as your main motor does, but it does have its own throttle, shifter, key, everything like that on the side here, so you actually have 2 when you have that. Works great. Just one more thing I wanted you to know. All right, next thing we'll talk about is the VersaTrack system. So this is superior to basically all other rod holder systems, but the key to it is to know this: you cannot buy these aftermarket rod holders as of right now in the store. You actually have to go to the Tracker Boats facility and actually ask them to buy it or special order it there, because if you just buy rod holders on the internet, it will not be the right ones, I promise you. But the way the VersaTrack system works is it goes right along the gunnel here, and it makes it so that you can move your rod holders anywhere you want. You just unscrew them, move it, tighten it down, and you're good to go. It's really, really nice. In order to get them off, you just slide them out the back. There's a little hole and you just pop it out of there, no big deal. The system's awesome. Just make sure you look into where you're buying the rod holders from, because you'll probably get the wrong ones if you don't actually talk to your Tracker people to get them. So then that brings us to the back seats. Super cool. This folds down and that snaps on. Then this can fold over. So now you have more fishable platform. And just like the front seat, these posts, all these places are where you can insert the other seats that you have there. The boat will come with 4 seats total, plus the back 2 jumper seats. I take a lot of them out because they honestly get in the way and I like more open space. But this is super nice because you can do the same thing with this deal. Move that over and bam, look at you. You've got all this fishable space. Put a seat here, you're good to go. Now there's also, as you may have guessed, more storage. So right here, this storage is what I use as my tackle box, and you can see I've got everything organized in there. It's got a plastic shell on the inside to keep everything kind of, you know, if you put wet stuff in there, it's not a big deal. A lot of people keep their towels in there, but we're using this boat for fishing, so you can imagine what's gonna go in there. Back here, this is actually gonna be where your other battery is. So that's just right there, it's your crank battery. But keep in mind that 115 volt outlet charges this one and the trolling motor batteries, which will be found in the middle of the boat. This one right here is your live well. It's very, very big. It's got a bait bucket built in. It's got a light right there that can turn on at night so you can see what's going on in the live well so you don't get bit by a pike. Happened to our buddy Scott once. We didn't have this boat then. Back here, another little dry storage. It's where I keep all of the additives that I have to put in the motor. So I use Stabil every single time I fill up. And then I also use Quick Clean every 2 times. And those 2 supplements added to your fuel are what are actually being your Mercury manual. So make sure that you're doing that. One more little piece of storage is right here. This is where I keep my bumpers. So at the docks, Bass Pro makes these really cool inflatable bumpers. You just unscrew this, unstrap them, and then they blow up, but then they fold down. So you don't have those big ugly buoys taking up all the room in the boat. They fold up nice, you wouldn't even know they're there. And then if you got a lot of people, you wanna pop these back up, you're good to sit down again. So pretty cool. Right here, we've got storage on the sidewall. So this is where we keep our fishing net. This is another cool product by Bass Pro. First, let's get the ski tow pylon out. So if you get the fish and ski model, it's gonna come with the ski tow pylon. Right there, you just unscrew the little bracket that's in there and screw this in, and that'll work perfectly for you. It just screws right in. Keep in mind, a lot of people don't know this, the ski tow pylon is not meant for tubing. Do not use it for tubing. There's a weight limit on it. It is only meant to be used for skiing. You could break the boat doing it otherwise. Then this fishing net, another option from Bass Pro. I love this. It's got this rubber part on the front. Our producer Ryan actually uses this to catch timberdoodle so that he doesn't hurt them. But because without that front bar, because a lot of times when you swat them, you can hurt them. But this way, this can fold down, break up. It's like nothing. Takes up no room, slide it in there. I also keep my oar and my lights in there as well, so that everything's kind of covered and good to go. That is the Tracker Targa V19 for 2021. It's amazing. One of the things I wanted to note that I didn't hit on through the walkthrough is the metal that they use to build the boat. It's so much thicker than almost any other boat. And because of that, the ride is so smooth. It makes such a big difference having that big over-exaggerated deep V with that big heavy metal. Really cuts through the waves, and that's why I like it the most. Take it out skiing, take it out fishing, enjoy. I'm Kyle Green, stay green.